WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. An Oxford policeman charged with murder remains in jail while judges and prosecutors wrangle over two legal issues in the case.
Officer Matthew Kenny is charged with murder in the shooting death of Dominique Clayton. Clayton's body was found in her Brittany Woods home Sunday afternoon. Investigators say Kenny was involved in a relationship with her, and that led to them charging him with murder Tuesday. A hearing today became confusing because Judge Andrew Holworth had to decide if Kenny was entitled to a probable cause hearing since he was a policeman. Holworth ruled probable cause case did not exist because the shooting occurred outside of the scope of him as an officer. A bond hearing was postponed while the district attorney and Kenny's counsel debated a fair bond amount. Acting Oxford Police Chief Jeff McCutcheon pulled no punches when asked about the bond question. In a statement, McCutcheon said, quote, "We are frustrated in the issue of bond in this case. There is no reasonable bond amount. Matthew Kenny should not be released. He is a danger to our community and should not be released," end quote. A date for a new bond hearing has not yet been set.
A man faces a manslaughter charge in connection to the death of a Tupelo woman. Christopher Sneed was arrested Friday by Tupelo police after a body was found at a home on Bickerstaff Street. Lee County Coroner Carolyn Green says the victim is 63-year-old Charlie Freeman. Investigators aren't releasing any other details on the case. Sneed's bond is set at $350,000.
A Mississippi Highway patrolman and an SUV crash in East Columbus today. The fender bender happened on Idlewild Road. An MHP spokesperson said the accident involved a trooper and another driver. He says both drivers were going south on Highway 69. No one was injured.
The Mississippi Highway Patrol begins its Memorial Day travel enforcement period Friday. Troopers are also participating in Operation CARE, which is a national effort to increase officers' presence on highways. A SecureLife.com ranked Mississippi as the second most dangerous state to drive in during the Memorial Day holiday. The website looked at fatal crash statistics between 2013 and 17 to determine the ranking. The enforcement period ends Monday at midnight.
Well, the newest class of Mississippi Highway patrolmen are on the highways. 4
of the 44 troopers in Cadet Class 63 are joining Troop G in Starkville. This is their first week of field training, but May 1st was their first day on the job. Our Jory Talley joins us in the studio with more.
Cadet Class 63 started out with about 85 men and women. Only 44 graduated to become Mississippi Highway patrolmen. The 22-week cadet school, which started back in December, just recently wrapped up. However, there are still 12 more weeks of training left before the new troopers are ready to hit the roads by themselves.
Something I've always wanted to be.
That something is a state trooper for the Mississippi Highway Patrol.
I have family in law enforcement, and it's just something I've always wanted to do growing up.
New troopers Easton Doles and Jeremy Latham both had that dream growing up, and today it's finally a reality. Doles is the youngest trooper of Cadet Class 63, and this is his first job in law enforcement. Before Latham became a state trooper, like his uncle who was also a part of Troop G, he was a police officer in Ackerman.
Instead of just having one little town to be looking out after, you have the whole state and just your whole area to be looking over instead of one little city.
But getting here wasn't easy. Both troopers had to make it through the intense 22-week cadet school, and the Mississippi Highway Patrol is known for having one of the toughest programs in the country. On Wednesday, the new troopers joined the rest of Troop G for their twice-a-year qualification test.
Area-wise, we've been so short-handed before they come out of patrol school, so that just puts more enforcement on the highways, and again, it just goes back to serving the public and trying to keep everyone safe on the highway.
The rookie troopers still have 12 weeks in the field training with veteran officers before they're ready to go at it alone.
It feels real good, ready to get started working on the road by ourselves. Right now we're riding with the other troopers. They're training us how to control the traffic stop and follow all the right safety procedures and everything.
I suggest that you slow it down, but again, not only them, as a whole, we always continue to work hard, but those new troopers, they have endured a lot, so they want to get out and like I said, show what they've learned and everything.
MHP is already recruiting for its next class. The deadline for applications is May 31st.
All right, thanks a lot, Jory. Time now to turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. He joins us with a first look at our forecast.
Look at this great view in Louisville, Mississippi right now. Live view 606. Gorgeous weather with our Alpha Insurance camera network. 88, a popular number across our region. Some of you still around 90. It's a warm Wednesday afternoon as we go on into the evening. Perfect weather for the backyard barbecue. No issues here. So we turn it mostly clear tonight. Lows down into the mid to upper 60s tomorrow, flirting with the upper 80s to low 90s again. We'll ballpark at somewhere around 92. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
About 1 in 4 Mississippi third graders failed a toughened reading test on the first try this spring, leaving it unclear if they will advance to 4th grade. Mississippi is one of 16 states that requires third grade students to pass a reading score threshold or get held back. Mississippi raised its standard this year, mandating students reach the middle of the 5 scoring levels. Students had a second chance. Last week, those scores are not yet available. Officials predicted passing rates would drop from last year's 93.8% when students had to reach the second level. The Chickasaw County School District got top marks with 94% passing.
There is a lot riding on the reading test for students and their schools.
For the students that missed the mark the first 2 times, there is one last chance for them. Our Stephanie Poole went to school today to find out what educators are doing to help them. She joins us in the studio with that story.
Students have 3 chances to pass this test. There's a lot to look at. What one school does to prepare their 130 third graders.
At Louisville Elementary School, they made sure they were prepared for the test. Principal Ryan Thompson says his faculty and staff have been helping the students since school started last fall.
Administration above us has allowed us to hire interventionists. We bring back retired teachers. We know what that child needs. Real important that we have a goal set from the beginning so that we can work towards it, because it's not something that you're just going to grasp at the end of the year.
Students have 3 chances to pass the test. Those who failed have now completed their second attempt. If after the second attempt they still fail, the students are placed in a 3-week boot camp.
Our interventionists went in, tried to attack any area that we saw fit based off any information that we had from our students. 4 days a week, we'll pull these kids and do everything once again.
Thompson says test anxiety seems to hold some students back.
We do have students that go and they have no sign. They're not on our radar because they make great grades. They're asking questions, answering questions. They're doing the right things. And then all of a sudden we get on state test and we can't pass it for some reason.
Louisville School District Superintendent Randy Grierson says reviewing reading material at home may help them perform better.
We talk about educating the whole child, getting the parents involved. I think that's a lot of it. You're talking about incorporating reading, encouraging and requiring kids to read.
They're my kids. I tell the parents they're mine when they step on the door, and I treat them like they're mine. So I would want every opportunity for my child personally to have that. So we're going to create that to make sure that there's no factors lying out there, and we know that we've done 100% of everything we know we can do to create success for our students.
The final attempt to pass the reading test is scheduled for the summer.
Tennessee Tom Digby Waterway Emergency Channel is officially open. We'll have more on what that means for ports coming up next.
Welcome back. For nearly 3 months, a portion of the Tennessee Tom Digby Waterway has been shut down. Crews have been working around the clock to remove sandbars left behind by February's floods.
Well, today things are starting to look up. Our Riley Livingston joins us live from the Lowndes County Port with the latest. Riley?
Barges were lined up here at the Lowndes County Port. Now they're all gone. With the emergency channel now open in Aberdeen, barge traffic and business is moving again.
Here at the Lux Creek is just slam-packed with barges, and so I think everyone is anxious and ready to get these barges underway going north.
It has been a long road for ports along the 10-Tom waterway. Companies that normally move their cargo through here have had to find alternate routes. Now that an emergency channel is open, business can start flowing again.
We can start getting back to normal with regards to supporting business and industry that use the waterway for moving their cargo and materials.
Even with the emergency channel open, that doesn't mean it's full speed ahead. Most of the channel has been opened to 150 feet wide, but dredging continues in some areas.
There's still some narrow areas, but it's enough that the barges and tows can make it through. It's like going from a 2-lane road to a 1-lane road. We're trying to put as much notice out to boaters where those areas are. I would also encourage them to pay particular attention to the buoys that have been set by the Coast Guard and travel safely and definitely listen to what the lockmasters are telling people.
During the waterway closure, the Lowndes County Port has been working double time moving cargo north. Now it has a chance to get back to business as usual.
We will still be busy with our normal operations, but can kind of get settled in our normal daily routine and kind of keep things going.
Mitch Mays says now that commercial traffic is moving, so can recreational traffic, but it won't be the top priority. Barges and commercial traffic will come first, but they will try to fit recreational boaters in where they can. Reporting live at the Lowndes County Port, Riley Livingston, WCBI News.
A lot of blue sky in that live shot, and earlier today it was awfully warm. Here's Allie Martin with some folks up there at the splash pad in Amory, getting a little cool down from the heat. We have more scenes like that underway as we get into the holiday weekend. It will be hot around here. More on that after the break.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Right now in Columbus, 88 degrees, a southeasterly breeze at 11 miles per hour. The heat index is 93. Dew point's up there about 69, so more moisture getting back into the air. It's a warm evening all the way across Mississippi and Alabama, mid 80s to low 90s here. So you know what? It's just like summer. We've got the heat index into the low 90s, still 95 in Greenville. Tomorrow afternoon, much the same story with the heat index well into the mid 90s. Same story as we roll on into your Friday too. So things are beginning a little bit, or to get a little bit more uncomfortable out there. Plenty of sunshine, plenty of heat though for your Memorial Day weekend. 93 to about 95 here each and every afternoon, lows around 70, but great weather to be outdoors. You just need to find a cool place, wear your sunscreen and your hats because this hot and dry weather pattern will continue through the weekend into next week. The active storm track, look at that, the jet stream is back to the northwest, and that's where it's going to be for a while. With that active weather pattern, the jet stream, you can see these storms bubbling up here in Oklahoma, again, Texas, parts of Kansas and Missouri, even into Illinois. Those are not coming our way, but we'll just watch it on radar tonight. You can see for us, we have tons and tons of sunshine out there. Those puffy cumulus clouds we had are beginning to dwindle and shrink and go away, and that means starry skies for the rest of this evening and tonight once the sun goes down into the upper 60s in many spots here. Some of you may flirt with the low 70s for lows tonight. It was only 71 in Columbus and Tupelo this morning, so we may be in that similar ballpark tonight. For you Thursday, there you go, 70 or so at 7 o'clock. Sunglasses needed for the morning commute. 87 at noon, 92 our forecast high. That rain chance 0 for tomorrow. The goose egg 0%. We're looking at a pretty nice day. Winds from the south at about 5 to 15. Low 90s should do it across our region with those heat indices somewhere in the low to mid 90s. So that's the way it's looking. You can see with Futurecast here, no major issues going into your Thursday or your Friday. As we mentioned, this holiday weekend is looking absolutely gorgeous, just a bit toasty for this time of year, about 10 degrees above the average, give or take. Our next chance for any decent showers or storms probably by next Wednesday.
Ole Miss looking to pick up a statement win on day 2 of the SEC tournament. Could the Braves top the Hogs? The highlights next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
With this win over Missouri, the Rebels advancing to the double elimination stage of the SEC baseball tournament. An uphill battle for Ole Miss in round 2, taking on 2-seed Arkansas. A beautiful day in Hoover, keeping up the theme for SEC baseball. Rebels taking on the Hogs, down 2-0 in the 5th. Thomas Dillard tags one to right field. Anthony Servideo scores. Throw to third. Justin Bench safe backbench would score later on thanks to a sac fly from Gray Kessinger. Rebels tie the game, and in the 6th, they take the lead. Kevin Graham delivers with a sacrifice ground ball. Cole Zabowski comes across the plate for the score. It's 3-2 Ole Miss. But the Hogs would deliver when it matters the most. Jack Kenley gaps one to left field. 2 runs would score. And Arkansas goes on to win this one 5-3, sending Ole Miss to the losers bracket. So who will Ole Miss be facing? It came down between Georgia and Texas A&M. Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. Before I even get to that, Mike Bianco had some thoughts after the game.
I thought Zach was terrific, but 2 walks by us and an HPP, of 3 of their 5 runs. Part of that's because we don't make plays in the field, and then on the other side of the ball, we just had a few opportunities offensively that we just didn't capitalize, especially early. Twice I think in the first 3 innings we had a runner at second base, and just don't have enough good at bats, to score.
Sorry about that, Mike. With Ole Miss, here's who they face tomorrow. Georgia and Texas A&M. A 3-2-3 double play to get out of a bases-loaded jam in the 6th for Georgia. It'd be 5 total hits in this ball game. It was a pitcher's duel, and this is how the Aggies would lose it. A 2-run walk-off homer in the bottom of the 9th, courtesy of Cam Shepard. Georgia wins 2-0. Texas A&M waiting to face Ole Miss. And that game is set for 9:30 a.m. tomorrow in Hoover. This isn't a new scenario for the Rebels in the SEC baseball tournament. Ole Miss lost on Wednesday last year and ended up winning the tournament anyway. The Rebels sweeping A&M in the regular season. But tonight, Mississippi State set to take on LSU, the final game of the day in Hoover, waiting for the end of Auburn and Vanderbilt. Approximately an 8:30 p.m. first pitch. We'll see what happens. LSU winning the regular season series 2-1. ICC softball competing in its first ever national JUCO softball tournament in Clinton, taking on Lewisburg out of North Carolina. The Hurricanes jump out to an early lead. Squeeze bunt makes it 3-1 Lewisburg, but ICC puts on the rally cap. Samantha Conley gets the Indians back within 1 with a base hit to left. Caledonia alumna Hope Harbin on the score, so it's 3-2 Lewisburg. Lady Indians take advantage of a mistake. Morville Summer Kreider, liners mishandled at third. ICC ties it up, and it would come down to the final out of the ball game in the bottom of the 7th. Rachel Sternisha would deliver, lifts one to right center, gets down. Joanna Vasquez rounds third for the score and the walk-off win. ICC wins its first ever national tournament game in a thriller, advancing to the winner's bracket with a 4-3 win. That's it for sports. Last look at your weather is next.
Nice and quiet here for the next couple of days. That will carry us to the holiday weekend. Tons of sunshine. You've been dreaming of a summer-like weekend, and it will team up with the unofficial start of summer.
Could be a lot of folks out.
I imagine the pools, the beaches, the lakes, the rivers will be jam-packed all the way around here.
Yep.
And you couldn't ask for better, so
No.
all right.
We'll take it.
Indeed. All right, thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.